Welcome to the channel, my friends. We are the Beach Life Group right here in North County, San Diego. Today, we're going to get into 5 mistakes that you don't want to make when moving here. Have people made these before?
Yes, for sure.
Well, let's get into it.
Hello, I'm Cassidy Lewis.
And I'm Chris Erickson.
And we love making these videos for you, but we are also real estate agents here in North County, San Diego. So if you're thinking about moving out this way, definitely get in touch with us. Call, text, email, book your discovery call with us. And if this is your first time here, definitely hit that subscribe button because we are dropping new videos every single week on all things you need to know about moving and living here in San Diego.
So point number 1, step number 1, mistake number 1, maybe whatever you want to call it, is not preparing for the weather. You think San Diego, sunny, beautiful. You can see it behind us today, a little overcast, little partly cloudy. That's like a lot of the days here. Even when we were getting ready to film, we're like, do we do a jacket? Do we not do a jacket? What are we wearing? I was in a jacket in my car. It was kind of hot.
I'm kind of wishing I had a jacket.
Yeah, it is. This breeze is coming up right now. We're filming right in San Diego. So we're on the hill, on this side of the mountain, the mountain, Double Peak. This is where you get some of the breeze. When you get to other areas, it gets a little warmer. But that's the thing, like if you're coming from the coast, if you're going from coast to inland, if you're working, if you live inland and go and work into the coast, it could be 2 totally different climates.
So everybody kind of just assumes 76 and sunny. I mean, that is the case for a bunch of days, but we do have little microclimates within North County, within San Diego. And so you just have to kind of plan accordingly. The coast during kind of this May, June timeframe kind of tends to be a little bit foggier in the morning. So you're definitely gonna be a little bit chillier, but then the sun can pop out at any point and you're, hot. So it's just day to day, it's going to be kind of that same story. We don't get very much rain, so you don't have to worry about that.
Except this year.
Except for this year, where I think we're getting into like an El Nino, or it is an El Nino or something like that. So we got a ton of rain in the first couple months of the year, but now it's kind of starting to look like a normal San Diego year where we're not getting a ton right now.
Can you explain El Nino?
No. Something about rivers in the sky.
Yeah, you'll see it all over the news. El Nino, La Nina, it's just weather patterns that we do have here. Is it could be hot? Is it going to be rainy? Is it going to be stormy? It's just kind of something, I don't know, every few years you hear it in the news here. So be ready for maybe not crazy weather, like wherever you're coming from, but a little bit. We do have some changes in temperature at least.
And there's some parts of, like I mentioned, the coastal towns kind of being foggy in the morning and stuff, but there's some spots like Solana Beach, Del Mar, Cardiff, where it'll stay socked in all day long for a few days, where you can just go just over the hill into like a little more inland Encinitas, and it's beautiful and sunny. So that's something to think about too. If you're really like sun, maybe it's San Marcos, Escondido, kind of that inland Encinitas area. Carlsbad, there's a bunch of, on the inland side, a lot of areas that are kind of always sunny, or at least get sunny quicker in the days.
And if you want some of that actual weather, the mountains aren't too far. You have like local mountains, Julian, Alpine, you have Palomar Mountain. You get a little further, you have Big Bear, which is a little bit higher. You go about 6 hours away, you have Mammoth. So the mountains, snow, you want that, the weather, go to Christmas time, all that kind of stuff. We do have that, or deserts and stuff. I know you're taking trips out to the desert and Borrego Springs and whatnot. So all that is right around San Diego.
Another mistake we see people make is also the cost of living out here is real. So don't ignore it. It is going to be one of the most important things when you're thinking about moving out here. Obviously, housing is going to be your biggest expense. It is everywhere, but here in San Diego, our median home prices are extremely high compared to a lot of other places in the country. So that's the main thing you want to take into account. And if you're watching this, you probably already have a pretty good idea of what housing costs are here. But some of the other things to take into consideration also, electric, gas, or water, especially if we're going through times when there's a drought. Like we talked about, it rained a lot this year, so we're not going to have to worry about it for a little bit of time, but water prices will go up a little bit at some point. And those are kind of the main things you want to focus on, but it's also cost of daycare, cost of preschools, it's cost of a lot of just things you do for fun. So there's obviously a lot of activities you can do for free here. You got beaches, you got parks, you got a lot of that stuff, but then also just some of the, you got zoo, wild animal park. We have passes to there's also smaller things like Birch Aquarium is an awesome one. The Botanic Gardens in Encinitas is a really great, affordable one, especially if you have younger kids. It's an easy one to just jump and take a walk, play in the sandboxes, watch the trains, a whole bunch of stuff. So there's a lot of those things too you want to keep in mind here as well.
A lot of, like you mentioned, all the free stuff too. Obviously the beach. beaches are free for the most part. You might have to pay parking. There's a lot of places to camp around here. So if you're into camping, you could take anywhere like within an hour. There's a lot of little spots to camp around here. You can go a little further out. Once again, all the different mountains and deserts and all that kind of stuff. There's a bunch of cool stuff around San Diego. The third point / mistake that a lot of people make is not really diving into neighborhoods, cities. Well, you're probably looking at cities, but more specifically diving into those specific neighborhoods that you've been eyeballing, you know. Take a trip, not just like a vacation. Take a trip out here, do some exploration, check out some neighborhoods. We give you some addresses if you need, like, put me in this neighborhood. I kind of like this area. Put me kind of near this spot is where I want the kids to go to school, whatever it might be. We could drop you a little address and then you can go explore the neighborhood from there. Different times it's going to be different. Like if you're down by the beaches, definitely during the summer times, it gets a lot more packed down there. Carlsbad Village and just, I mean, everywhere down by the beach. Everybody's cruising to the beach during the summertime. So, you know, if you're cruising around and that's when you're taking your exploratory trip out here, it's going to be different than if you're going to the winter or local summer, as we call it, kind of right after normal summer, where things calm down a little bit and you could kind of, you know, cruise around, get that more mellow vibe that we're known for right here in San Diego. Also, just diving in at different times of the day, you know, even right where we're standing right now, there's schools right in this neighborhood. So different times through the day, you're going to get traffic. There's only like a few lanes coming in and out. So as schools are getting out, everybody's picking up. And I mean, it doesn't take hours to get through. It feels like it though when you're sitting in your car at the one side of town you're trying to get to your house or whatever it might be. So just a lot of different things to think about if you just go see the neighborhood once. Really dive in, and I mean, you can pick our brains too. We give you some insight into each neighborhood, but is those houses, are they right on a main road? What's, you know, are they near some big power lines? Just all that kind of local stuff that you could see if you really dive in, but it's better just to get out there, get on foot, boots on the ground, go check out some of the restaurants around there, go see different stuff that you'd actually be doing, check out the parks that you're going to be doing when you're actually living there.
Some of the other things to think about too, you know, since these neighborhoods are being new to you, or are new to you, you kind of just want to see like what infrastructure do you want, what's important to you. So if we give you an address, go find the coffee shop that you might want to try. If like getting to Trader Joe's in 10 minutes is a huge thing, that's going to define where you're searching. If you want to be really close to like some of the big box stores like Target, Home Depot, like that's, you know, where you want to kind of focus. And there's parts of town where you don't have a ton of infrastructure like that, and it's going to be a drive or even kind of a longer drive for a lot of those too. So also the commute side of things, you know, make sure that you're either driving the commute during your hours that you'd be driving, or Google Maps also has a great thing where you can set the time frame to get a kind of a baseline, an idea of the average commute where you'll be going to work.
And as you're actually out exploring and checking out all these neighborhoods too, San Diego, especially North County, we have a ton of side roads and stuff. So you're going to find different ways around, not just the main thoroughfares or the freeways. Like if you're taking vacations out here, those are, you know, following Google Maps, those are probably the way you're going to go. Freeway to Moonlight Beach, freeway to whatever the restaurant is that you're checking out. But once you're out in these neighborhoods, you're going to find like little ways around. There's a lot of, I love it. Just kind of, we barely ever take the freeway. Try to avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of different, there's like main thoroughfares through each city. And then there's just little branches going off of those streets where you can find where you need to go and not kind of sit in all that traffic.
There's also times when you don't want to branch off and drive. Coast Highway through Encinitas, parts of Carlsbad are not spots you want to go to. That's usually my go-to, is to get off the freeway, get on the Coast Highway.
It's a beautiful drive.
It's a beautiful drive. But there's times a day where you just don't want to do that because you're going to be sitting for 20 minutes in your car to go 2 blocks. So just keep those things in mind too. We can kind of navigate you through some of the spots. One of my favorite kind of cut throughs is always through Ranch Santa Fe to get to like Solana Beach or get to out kind of to the inland area. So there's some great spots like that too.
And during different times too, you'll find that's a lot of people's cut through because you get traffic. Rancho Santa Fe is like kind of very small town feel. It's got like a bunch of these side roads that aren't very busy except during those rush hours when a lot of people do cut off the freeway to cut into different areas that they're going.
The fourth point or mistake some folks make is not adjusting to the casualness of especially North County, San Diego as a whole. You'll see us showing up to showings in t-shirt, shorts, hats, flip-flops a lot of the time. So that's just something to keep in mind, is San Diego is pretty casual. That's just kind of our vibe.
So not only like real estate agents, like you'll see us doing, you know, kind of just being casual. This is kind of like our normal gear that we're rocking every day, the stuff you see us filming in at all times. But even like CFOs, CEOs, you know, there's a guy we know who runs a big company here, and his main gear just some, some nice slacks, maybe not even slacks, maybe some jeans, and kind of like a Hawaiian or like a, like floral top. And that's
Aloha shirt.
Aloha shirt. We'll go with aloha shirt. That's where you go. And flip flops too. That's just what he rocks. That's like that's his standard work attire. You just see that a lot around here. There are people who get dressed up and, wear the suit and tie and all that kind of stuff, but I would say less rare. It's more rare. It's not less rare. It's more rare.
Especially like post-COVID. It is way more rare to see somebody dressed up to the nines than it is to see folks just casual in town. And it kind of goes to dining too. Obviously, we have a ton of really great restaurants, but none of them are like super stuffy where you have to wear a ton. Maybe you wear your nice shorts and a button up instead of shorts and a t-shirt, but it's still pretty casual no matter where you're going. In and around North County.
I went to dinner with my family the other night up in Carlsbad, and it's a nicer place, kind of nice Italian joint. And there was, my boys wanted to dress up, so they got their little ties on. Just thought it was cool. I'm rocking, just a nice button-up shirt, nice jeans, whatever, nothing too fancy. But then there's also people like fully dressed up, full suits, like coats, everything. And then there's also people showing up in shorts and a t-shirt. So it's just kind of the vibe. It's all different things. That's how you see a lot of different restaurants and stuff around here. The next point is be kind. You'll just see a lot of kindness going on, a lot of friendly people, like just driving through your neighborhood. Everybody's like, hey, like I see these people every single day, but driving up my little block, it's like, peace sign out the window every time. They're doing it right back. It's just nice little friendly gesture. A lot of hold the door open, a lot of people hold it for a long time. Like, hey, come on in here. But just kind of something part of San Diego, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And we get it a lot too when folks come out here to kind of do their initial visits to see what neighborhoods they like and everything. They'll say to us that, oh, you guys are completely right, that people are just nice out here. And it's not like a forcible nice. It's like people are genuinely nice folks here in San Diego. And like Chris said, like for the most part, people will hold doors open. You'll get a hi and a hello from strangers. You'll have conversations when in line at places. It's just a genuinely nice place to live.
And so just as a reminder, if you guys are thinking about moving out here, we are real estate agents right here in San Diego. So if you have some questions, thinking about moving out this way, just want to hit us up, pick our brains, call, text, email. We got your back when making the move here in North County, San Diego.